Hey, I saw you weren't at school today. Is everything okay? Oh, you weren't feeling well? Well, I brought you some notes that are meant to be on our exam coming up. Mind if I come in? Thanks. You've not been feeling well a lot lately. You're missing a lot of school. How do I know? Because you're my best friend, and I'm lonely when you're not there, dum-dum. You know I'm only teasing you. But maybe you should go see a doctor. It's not that kind of illness? What do you mean by that? Fine. I won't pry. These are the notes. Wait, what was that? On your wrist. Give me your hand. Are you cutting yourself? You're self-harming? Is it because of them? I thought you said that all died down. That they weren't bullying you anymore. So you just said that to stop me from worrying. You know this isn't the right way to handle this, right? To deal with all this? How do I know? Well, I never told you this, but in secondary school, I used to self-harm too. You want to hear about my story? Sure, if you think it will help. To start off my bullying experience, it lasted for 6 years of secondary school. So from around 12 to 18 years old. In school, I was the outcast, the reject. I don't know why, if it was my weight, my social skills, or my personality, but in the first year of secondary school, people made up lies because they didn't want to sit next to me. It was assigned seating. I never knew what the reason was, but my homeroom teacher at the time pulled my desk on its own, so I sat by myself all year. That was the absolute worst thing, as it not only mortified me, but it segregated me as well. To this day, I believe the teacher was horribly wrong, and no other teacher who came to the class ever spoke up for me. In second year, I was walking home from school, and one of the bullies began to follow me. She grabbed my bag, and I turned around and pushed her away. Someone reported it, and me and the girl got suspended. This broke my heart, as I wasn't a child who ever got in trouble. In fact, I got a prize for being the best behaved child for the entire week in primary school, so going to the principal's office was traumatizing. Even to this day, I'm mad at myself for not speaking up, because I understand why I didn't. I was petrified, and no one seemed to care. Though, out of the rest of the few years, I was just on my own, hating any partner tasks, especially PE, because I had no one. I sat alone at lunch and then joined chess and choir, which were on once a week, just so I had somewhere to go. I ended up enjoying both and won trophies. However, that was only a 30-minute amount of relief from a 6.5-hour day. In fourth year, I changed my hair colour and cut it. Walking into the class, everyone laughed at me, and I ran out, bawling, crying. Home life was rough, because I took out all my anger at home, and felt like there was nowhere I could go, no one that understood. I was angry and defensive about everything, pretending to be sick to get a day off from dealing with it. By this time, I started to cut myself. Not because I wanted to die, but because I couldn't handle all these negative emotions building up inside me. Pain was the only thing that gave me relief for a while just stopping all the other emotions. Anger, sadness, frustration, confusion, bitterness, loneliness. Life was hell. People saw my wrists and didn't care. It had come to the stage where I tried to overdose on tablets to end my life. Luckily, I was dumb and took ones that didn't cause any effect. By the end of year 5, a few girls got my number and started texting me sexual, revolting messages. They were stupid enough because a week later I rang their numbers and heard the voices, so I knew exactly who it was. We had a homeroom teacher for about 4 years straight, and I had grown close to her. I even had her number. It was by this point that I decided to text her, explaining what was going on, and that I didn't have the courage to say it face to face. She was horrified about what I had been going through. It was all dealt with, and the principal got involved. With the texts, the principal told the girls I had every right to press charges, and giving me that power, they backed completely off. I slept in on the day we got our timetable for 6th year, so I came in later, and I remember my homeroom teacher waiting there and embraced me in a hug, explaining that if anything happened, to tell her. Thankfully, that year was probably the most pleasant year out of all 6. I still didn't have any friends, but I was included more. I look back and I'm glad I finally talked to someone. I urge you to speak to somebody, whether they're close, whether it's a text to a teacher, in person, or even a letter given to the staff room, to hand in and let somebody else take that burden. It allows people to be aware and conscious. It allows you to not have to deal with this on your own, and it gives you support. Now, 8 years later, I have the most amazing group of friends, you included. We go away all the time, and I'm never afraid to open up or be vulnerable with you. Don't get me wrong, I still struggle with social anxiety, and I work on trying to be less defensive. But I have people like you in my life that helps me. I have family, I have nieces and nephews now that I wouldn't have had if I had actually gone through with ending my life. I'm loved. And so are you. You don't need to go through this on your own. For 6 years, I went through it on my own. I felt like the whole world was against me. I felt like, what was the point? I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't tell anyone. And it just became very dark. But you have me. You can talk to me about anything. You don't have to act on it if you don't want to. I will not pressure you to tell anybody. But at least talk to me. At least let me share this burden. I know what you're going through. I've been through it. To hell and back. And I just want to be here for you. To support you. To listen to you. To be a shoulder to cry on. Geez, to help you clean your cuts if you've really gone to that stage. Just know that life goes way beyond the shit of teenage years. It goes way beyond that. They are a small fragment of your whole life. Don't get me wrong, you're going to meet bullies every day of your life. But just remember that you are so much stronger than them. They don't think about you when they leave. So don't give them the satisfaction of hurting yourself because of them. They are not worth it. You are a beautiful, strong, independent individual. And only you can allow anybody else to make you feel that way, to make you hurt yourself. Are these people worth that? No, they're not. You only have to deal with them for a little while longer. And though every day may seem like a struggle, like it's the longest day of your life, trust me, it's not. It gets better. It always gets better. There is a light at the end of every tunnel. So just hang in there, because it will get better. It sucks right now, but it will get better.